Hi, everybody who's tuning in here. Thank you so much for diving in on this little preview of the show. I am new to the StreamYard bit, so if there's any glitches here, forgive me. This is definitely a new adventure for me, but I love the platform. And again, thank you for tuning in. What I really wanted to do was just sort of shed some light on what to expect from the new round of episodes. I guess I'm sort of referring to it as season 2 of the podcast. And after a long break, an extended break of a couple of years here where production work has just been insane. And so it was a little hard to keep up with the way that it was before, but now I think we found a good comfortable way to work it into the schedule. And so this new season of the show, it's going to be more than just new interviews like it was previously. That's always going to be the core of what I'm doing, but also I'm going to be digging out a lot of archival interview audio. One of the things that I've done over the years, for better for worse, sound quality wise, is from the very beginning I've recorded every conversation I've ever had. So for the magazines, literally any kind of interview discussion that I've had, whether in person or remotely, I've recorded those. And so I've been going through the archives and digging out some of those conversations that I'm going to build into episodes for the show. And that'll be sprinkled with the new interviews. So the first interview that's going to land is actually next Monday, the 10th. It's Thursday, the 6th right now. So on Monday, the 10th, it's going to be with Jess Gowrie, who's the drummer for Chelsea Wolfe, and also in a side project that they have together. And Jess and I had an amazing conversation just about a week or so ago that is just perfect to kick off this new season. And also it's an illustration of the fact that it's not just going to be film people. It's going to be continuing the trend of folks from a bunch of different walks, right? So music, art, some of the other guests I have coming up from film studios already recorded. I have an artist friend of mine, an incredible sculptor that I have an episode coming up with as well. There's going to be a look back at, for one, Dark Delicacies in Burbank. My friends Sue and Dell, they're wrapping up their shop this year. This is the final year that they're going to be open. And so a sort of farewell to them. I had a great conversation with Dell about their history and the history of the store and all that they have planned for this year. So that one's really exciting. And the format's going to be a little bit different too, where before it was like just conversation. And now I'm going to do it where I'm blending a lot more elements into it. So on the first episode with Jess, for example, we cover a lot of history. She's been in so many amazing bands over the years. And so I'm going to sprinkle in some of that music so you can get a chance to hear it, as well as some other audio elements that are built in. And then the same thing with the previous episodes, or the older interviews from archive as well. For those, I'm going to be doing more of a production audio mix, I guess, than what I used to do, which is just sort of throw the interview in and just put it out there. So, and also I'm still sick, so forgive me for missing last week and for my gravelly voice kind of tonight. Outside of all of that, there's a ton of really exciting stuff happening with Reverend Entertainment. There's been a bunch of great releases that have happened just recently, and especially since I think the last episode may have been 2020 or 2021, something like that. So it's been a few years and so much has happened in the interim. So there's a lot to cover there. There's great stories from behind the scenes of the production of these various titles. There's also, I'm entering the realm of audiobook narration now. And so there's going to be upcoming news on that front, and very excited to start exploring that territory. And then there's a few other things too that I can't wait to announce when they're ready, but will be announced here in the next couple of months. So just tons going on. Thanks, Greg. You like the the gravelly voice. Oh my gosh, terrible. Yeah, I'm excited it's coming back to, the show. It's I j as much as I love my work, my day to day, of course, there's just so many conversations that I wanna have, and that's what led me to the podcast in the first place, was that I really was looking for an avenue for the discussions that I wasn't gonna be able to have for my work probably, and this is definitely traveling those side roads for sure with this new approach. And with a lot of that archival stuff, there's really amazing interviews that would end up in print. But of course, when you're working in print media, you're only getting a piece of the whole discussion. And I'm such a side road lover that a lot of the best stuff, or some of the best stuff, I think, might not have been directly relevant to the topic of a column or an article, and so those ended up, I guess you'd say, sort of off the page. Well, what I'm going to do with these archival interviews is redress them, and you'll get to hear them in full. So, conversations with like Crispin Glover and Alice Cooper, John Carpenter, Kat from Babes in Toyland, a ton of Halloween people from all over the Halloween universe. I have a great interview with composer Ralph Carmichael, who is the composer on the original Blob. Coverage of a bunch of different movies and TV shows as well. And especially when they got broken down into a column, they would only, I mean, you're really getting just a fraction of the discussion in that scenario. So there's just so much there. And then there are some interviews that I had that never got printed, that maybe the film got canceled, so it didn't end up making it onto the page, or it was a project that I had started that I didn't end up being able to finish for whatever reason. I have a bunch of interviews from like the Halloween book, for example, when I was working on that, and none of that stuff has ever seen the light of day or been heard. So those are going to be baked in there too. Just lots of great stuff. And I'm super excited to share it. So most all of the historical episodes are, I think, up now on most of the platforms. There only a few of them that I haven't been able to track down the audio on yet, but I put them up exactly as they were when they were originally broadcast. So of course the promo codes and things like that are going to be outdated at this point, but there's good stuff in there. There's some fun conversations to be found, and once I get the other episodes pulled out of archive, I'll get those uploaded as well. But all that really means is that you can already subscribe to the show on all the different podcasting platforms, and I think you have to the like and subscribe thing, I think, is pretty much relevant everywhere. I don't really know much about the statistics on this stuff. I didn't pay attention to that in the past. I probably should have a little more. But anyway, very excited for the show to be back, and just a great roster of episodes already recorded, plus all of that historical stuff that I think is going to be really fun for everybody. So thank you, Greg, for wishing that, the well wishes on feeling better. I'm on my second round of antibiotics with this bronchitis, and it's just sticking around. It's not wanting to give up, and I hope I'm over it soon as well. But anyway, does anybody have any questions about anything while we're on here? I kind of wanted to make this short and sweet, just to say hi and let you guys know what's up for the new round of episodes. I think that the Thank you, Jesse. I think that the diversity of the show is really going to be fun. And I'm also going to be recording all the time. I'm going to be taking recorders with me when I go on location to shoot different things, because there's so many people that are a part of the business. Their stories never really get heard. And it's really exciting to consider the opportunity to present a lot of those stories. And a lot of times capturing those in the wild can be the best opportunity, or the only opportunity. So I'm going to have uh, sometimes sort of like, in addition to the weekly episode, which is going to be every Monday, to your question, Greg, I'll have little pop-up episodes too. If I've bumped into someone who has, and I can throw something together on the fly as I'm traveling or in LA or whatever, then I can kick that out and add it to the lineup of the shows. Oh, thank you, Pearl, for the recipe. I definitely will give that a shot. I've been I've been kind of desperate to get this thing dealt with, and definitely ready for it to be gone. So hopefully that recipe is the exorcism that I need. So, all right, guys. Well, so just to recap, the Radio Hour podcast is back as of this coming Monday. I hope you guys will subscribe on whatever pod platform you prefer. Great episodes. The first guest again is drummer Jess Gowrie, who is the drummer with plays with Chelsea Wolfe. And Jess and I had just an incredible conversation talking about everything from the earliest days, because I'm a drummer too. And so we kind of get into the drum nerd weeds a little bit, but a lot of fun stories from over her history and all the different groups she's been in, including her history with Chelsea, of course. And now they're on tour right now internationally. So this was like just a day or two before she left for tour. And then Del Howison from Dark Delicacies is coming up. I have and some others. Chris Cooksey is a sculptor friend of mine, and he and I are working on a really big, exciting project together right now. And we had a wonderful conversation for the podcast. That'll be in the first round of episodes as well. And then all of that historical stuff that I'm having so much fun going back and digging through. You're just going to have to be understanding about the audio quality on some of that stuff. Yes, Greg, my CD is for sale. The Steve Reverb and the Sound Tones. Right. If you go to justinbeahm.com, that is available. It's my old surf rockabilly band. And I did a little remaster on our studio album. And I just put it out. And it's like, I don't know, $10 or something. And I'll send it to you with some swag. So thank you for bringing that up, Greg. Yeah. And I just got my comp copies of Gretel and Hansel that look absolutely amazing. The first, it's really probably the newest movie that I've worked on. And it was really exciting because I just fell in love with that film when I saw it in theaters. And so that just showed up. Once Upon a Time in the West just landed, and Taint Girl, Narc. So I say all this just because you brought up the CD and sort of what's current, Greg. But yeah, that's the stuff that's happening right now and all currently available. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the show. And I hope you guys like the new season. It is going to be audio only. I forgot that point. I initially was going to be doing video with everything, but it's just not a comfort zone for me. So I'll have the audio, but I will put them on YouTube as well with some graphics and stuff like that. So anyway, everywhere podcasts can be found, you can find the show. Please do subscribe. And thanks again for turning up, guys. And thanks for listening. Have a good night.